ISUPK.
Right.
Christ is black, man. Understand? Job right here is saying what?
Book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black.
Check that out. Job just said my skin is black, man.
That's right.
It's like your skin is, it's like you and our skin is black, man. All of our brothers, all of our sisters, man. I mean, we are so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. We make up the 12 tribes of Israel. If your name is on this sign right here, come and get a flyer, man. You know what I mean? Come learn how to become a nation once again, because we are a nation. We are a nation inside of a nation.
Right.
So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's time that we wake up to the truth of who we are and rise. If us rising as so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, us rising is all these other nations falling, man. You understand? That's what ultimately will happen. When we rise up, all these other nations will fall, man. And it is biblical prophecy that they will fall. It's just a matter of time. You understand? It's just a matter of time before all of us wake up to the truth of who we are.
That's right.
It's just a matter of time before we put on the spirit of the Most High in Christ, man. Understand? And we learn how to love each other. You understand? That's what we missing out here. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We miss that love for one another, man. So instead of loving each other, what do? Because we've been taught Christianity our whole entire lives, we say we gotta love everybody. Say God love and Jesus saved. But first we need to learn how to love ourselves, man. First we need to learn how to love each other, man.
Right.
It's time we put our immediate family first, man.
That's right.
And that's every brother and every sister. Salaki. That's every so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, man. We a nation, man. We gotta put our nation first before all other nations. You understand? Y'all know let me ask y'all a question walking up and down the street, right? The old Star Spangled Banner, right? Where they blackballed the man Colin Kaepernick, the football player, right? Who the Carolina Panthers could use right now, by the way.
Yeah,
they could use Colin Kaepernick, right? Colin Kaepernick took a knee for the Star Spangled Banner, right? To salute the American flag. And once again, there's no American flag without 400 years of slavery. Without 77 million Native Americans dying, there's no being murdered, right? By the oppressor, there's no America, man. Understand? Without 100 million so-called black people dying just being shipped from across the Atlantic Ocean called the transatlantic slave trade. Without 99 million of our people dying, there's no America, man. You understand? But the Star Spangled Banner was written by a man by the name of Francis Scott Key. Understand? Read the lyrics, just look it up. You can Google it, right? And right in the second stanzas, it says, "Happy shall we be when the slaves are in their grave."
Right.
Francis Scott Key was just as racist as the rest of them. But we supposed to salute their flag and honor their Star Spangled Banner. Understand? July 4th coming up, right? That's not something that we should celebrate. Why? Because when the rockets red glared, where were we at?
That's right.
On the plantation picking cotton.
Right.
Where were we at? Down in the West Indies in the Caribbean, being manhandled, being victims of heinous crimes by people like Thomas Thistlewood, man.
Right.
Who's famous for buck breaking, man, and rape. Understand? When the rockets red glared, we were slaves, man. We were not considered human beings. And the Constitution it says that we were 3/5 of human beings.
Right.
3/5 of a man. Understand? If you would, give me Jeremiah 14, verse 2. You understand? It's color, Salah. It's color all throughout the Bible, man. All throughout the Bible is color.
Right.
You understand? And it's time we wake up, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It's time we wake up to the truth, man. Understand? And like we read a little earlier, the truth shall make you free. Understand? And the truth will make you free. Understand? The truth is that the real Jews are black, man.
Right.
The nation of Israel is not everybody on the planet Earth, man. But the nation of Israel are the real Jews of the Bible. And it's prophesied in the Bible. If you would, read what you got.
God. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourning.
Judah does what?
Judah mourning.
Judah mourning. The Bible prophesies that the real Jews will be in mourning.
Right.
Jew, J-E-W, is an abbreviated word for Judah. Judah is one of the 12 sons of Israel, one of the 12 children of Jacob, one of the 12 sons of Jacob, man. So Jew is an abbreviated word for Judah. That's where they get the word Jew from. Now let me ask y'all a question, right? Why do the so-called Jewish man, why does he refer to himself as Jewish? If you put the ISH, if you put the suffix ISH at the end of any word, it means something to be like.
That's right.
You understand? They call themselves Jewish. You understand? Why do they call themselves something to be like? If I was to call a person childish, am I calling them a child, or am I saying that there's something like a child?
That's right.
The Jewish man is not a Jew. He could never be a Jew. But they have assumed the identity of the greatest people upon the entire face of the planet Earth. Once again, our nationality, Black, Hispanic, and Native American, our nationality is not a color, man. It's not two continents. Our nationality is not a language, man. Understand? Our nationality is not Hispanic, man. That's not our nationality, man. But that's something that was given to us. Understand? But the real Jews of the Bible prophesies that the real Jews will be in mourning, man. The so-called Jewish man, he is not in mourning.
Right.
The so-called Jewish man owns everything, man. He owns the diamond district. He runs the entertainment industry,
Right.
man. Understand? I read where rap and R&B music is the #1 export in America. He runs that, man. Understand? The Jewish man, he is not in mourning. And furthermore, he assumed the identity, he's stolen the identity of the greatest people upon the entire face of the planet Earth.
Right.
Understand? Judah mourning. Read that again.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourning.
Judah does what?
Judah mourning.
All my brothers and sisters out there suffering from cigarette addiction and drug addiction and alcoholism.
Right.
Understand? Single mother household, a single parent household because of Willie Lynch syndrome.
Right.
And all the plights that was implemented to put a wedge in between us as brothers and sisters, man. The real Jews what?
Judah mourning.
The real Jews will be in mourning, man. We mourn our brothers and sisters every single day, man. The whole planet Earth isn't mourning. The real Jews, we are in mourning, man. We mourn for brothers like Emmett Till,
Right.
who was beat to half to death and then thrown in a river, shot in the head and thrown in a river for nothing, for no other reason for the fact that he was black.
Right.
Understand? There's no other reason for the Emmett Till got murdered before the fact that he was black, man. There's no other reason that Eric Garner got choked out on the side of a sidewalk screaming, "I can't breathe," for no other reason before the fact that he was black.
Right.
That's the truth, man. Understand? This place, we live and breathe racism every single day. I mean, we try to act like we try to sweep it up under the rug. I mean, we live and breathe racism every day, man. Every minute of the day, everything is racist, man. Understand? Understand? And so-called black people, we the only people that's not racist, man.
Right.
We the only people that doesn't practice racism. For one, we don't have the power to practice racism.
That's right.
one. But we the only people that's not racist, man. We love everybody because Christianity taught us to. And because we love everybody, we naturally hate one another.
Right.
That's why every city that you go to is the east side of town versus the south side of town, man. It's a block versus a block.
Right.
Understand? It's always strife between us, one another. It's Bloods versus Crips, man. Understand? One side wearing blue, another side wearing red. Just like politics, man. You got the Democrats representing blue and the Republicans representing red, man. Understand? We've adopted this culture that's infects the whole entire planet Earth, man.
Right.
This culture is a cancer to the planet Earth.
Right.
You understand? It's time we separate from this place, man. It's time we take our spirit out of this place, man. Understand? And we won't be in mourning anymore. Understand? Read that again from the top.
Judah mourning.
The real Jews will be in mourning, man. Keep reading.
And the gates thereof language.
And the gates what?
And the gates thereof language.
And the gates of Judah are language. Now Judah, we talking about a people, Judah. And the gates of Judah are languished, are in a weak state. What do you do with a gate for a house, right? The gate, the fence is there to keep whatever in and whatever out.
That's right.
The fences are there to protect you, right? In the gates of Judah, what?
The gates thereof languish.
In the gates of Judah, our black leadership, so-called black leadership, our so-called Hispanic leadership, our so-called Native American leadership are weak, man. They are weak, man. They could care less about the lives of our people, man. They could care less about waking our people up to the truth of who we are, man. God's chosen people.
Right.
You understand? Yasha Allah, Prince of the Power, Israel.
Right.
Israel means Prince of the Power.
That's right.
And Israel is God's chosen people, His chosen nation. All you have to do is open up the Bible and see for yourself that God has a nation that He prefers over all others.
That's
and that nation is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. It's time that we claim what's ours.
Right.
You understand? The same people that's supposed to be teaching us this Bible don't. They teach us how to do backflips in the church, man, and act like we catching fake Caesars, man.
Right.
And then, man, don't teach us the truth of this Bible, man. Don't give us our true identity, man. Because they are what? They are weak. They are language, man. They weak for money, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? They weak for their lust. Understand? Understand? But the men you see before you right here, in front of you right here, we strong men, man. We strong enough to come out and tell our people that the real Jews, we strong enough to come out and tell the whole planet Earth that the real Jews are black.
Right.
Understand? Even if you hate us for doing it, man. This right here, they call us a hate group. We are not a hate group. We are a love group, man.
That's right.
They say this is hate speech. This is not hate speech. This is love speech, man.
Right.
I mean, tell you the truth is love, man. Understand? Read on.
They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black.
Spell that word.
B-L-A-C-K.
The real Jews are black, man.
Right.
That's right out the Bible. You understand? Once
That's
again, we repeat what's in the Bible, not our own words. We just read what's in the Bible, man.
Right.
And the Bible said that the real Jews are black because the real Jews are black.
Right.
You understand? So-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. We are the real Jews that the Bible speak of, man. It's written all throughout the Bible. They are what?
They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground. And in Hebrew, it's Kodala Aratazah.
Right.
Means dark like unto the ground. It's when you dig up the ground, you get all different shades of ground, man. You understand? And let me say this. This is not about colorism. I have no problem with the color white, man. I got white t-shirts and white socks, man. You know what I'm saying? This is not about colorism, man.
Right.
You are the seed of your father, man. You understand? That's who you are. So if your father comes from one of these 12 tribes, then you are of the nation of Israel, man.
Right.
You understand? Understand? This has nothing to do with colorism, man. It has to do with crimes. Crimes that were committed against our people. That our people just act like we should just sweep it under the rug and let bygones be bygones.
Wow.
Or let the past be the past. What they say, water under the bridge. Right, you can say that when justice comes. When we get justice, then you can say that, man. When your people do 400 years of slavery, when your people give the Native Americans their land back, then we can say we got justice, man.
Right.
Then we can say we're even, man. Then we can say water under the bridge, man. You understand? But until then, our people need to rise up to the truth, man. And we should never forget, man. Understand? They never forget. But they don't let us forget they Holocaust, right? They say the Jewish Holocaust, it was 6 million so-called Jewish people that died in the Holocaust with Adolf Hitler putting them in the oven, right? Well, I said a little earlier, right? How many black people died? How many so-called black people died just crossing the Atlantic Ocean? How many? Say almost 99 million black people died crossing the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
This is public information. You can just look it up. And you want to know how we was dying on them slave ships, man? Because we was tied up, ankle to ankle, wrist to wrist, packed in there like sardines, man.
Right.
And the brother couldn't raise his hand and ask to use the bathroom. A sister couldn't raise her hand and ask to use the bathroom. If you had to urinate, you had to urinate right there. If you had to defecate, you had to defecate right there, man. Understand? If a woman was on her flower, on her menstrual, she had to bleed out right there, man. Historians, it's well documented that historians say that before, on the coast of America, before you seen the slave ships, you smelled them, man.
Right.
Meanwhile, on them slave ships, it was a bunch of raping going on.
Right.
You understand? And we act like the spirit of these people just disappeared somewhere. Nah, man. Nah, it never disappeared. You understand? And they don't teach you these things in school, man. So like, They tell us we migrated. They call it the migration instead of kidnapping, man. That's what it is, man. Instead of being forced on them slave ships, they say involuntary migration. That's in the history books. But we know exactly what it is. We know exactly where it came from.
Right.
Read that again from the top, if you would.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
Right.
They are black unto the ground.
They are black, man. The real Jews are black.
That's
man.
right.
You understand?